I was really excited to come back. We had such, even though we didn't have a whole lot to do in the first film, when we were there, we had the best time, and we were always made to feel so great about being involved in the film. And so I was just hoping that we'd be able to pick up where we left off, and nobody had changed or been infected since the first film, and so we were able to just jump right back into it and stay with that tight ensemble that we'd formed from having to go out and strip together.
Yeah, I realized why like he wants to come back so because like just joining it was like the most fun. Like that first day, like I felt like I was like, oh man, like I don't know, I felt like weird. Like I was like I joined the circus. It's like there's so much craziness going on, and everybody's like, yeah, do your thing. Like it was really a pleasure, a good time.
Yeah, he has some residual beefs with Mike for sure because he thought they were like really tight homies and really good friends, Mike, because he sort of departed without any fanfare, without really saying goodbye, and he thought they were really good friends, and it kind of not only hurt his feelings in terms of their friendship, but also kind of just left their whole troupe kind of high and dry. And he was sort of the leader for Ken, so he was like, now you want to just join back in. It's like we got some air to clear first. And he's divorced, and he's really lost. He doesn't know what he's going to do. Their whole troupe is sort of like up in the air of the future, and he's trying to figure out what that next chapter is going to be. He's like 35, and I'm still stripping, and I need to figure out what my real life is going to be now.
I mean, yeah, I think he really is like someone said this before. I was like, he's just like kind of this kind of I guess a kind of a weird new archetype of just like he's grinding. He's just really kind of going for trying to make it. And I it would be cool like if it ever was like a three. It was just like I don't ever really want to see him make it. I want to see like that just passion for what he's doing. Keep going. Like,
Yeah.
It'd be cool to just see like what that evolves into because like I think the interesting thing about this movie is like yeah, life doesn't always turn out the way you expect it to, but like you have each other. Like there's always going to be people who are doing the exact same thing with you, like whether that is stripping or just living your life. Like everybody's just babes in the woods at the end of the day.
And his character is like really integral for my character's journey in this film because he's the one who inspires him to be his most authentic self and to tap into who he is as an artist and to stop doing the same old stale routine and figure out what he can really bring to the table that's unique. The whole experience is all, especially with this movie. When I heard they were doing a sequel, I was like, oh, what's this going to be? Are we just going to be doing the same thing? Is it going to be that dark movie again? And when they told me it was just this fun stripper road trip odyssey, I was like, sign me up. This is great. It's, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just a joyful experience, and everybody brought really fun work to the table, and you get to go on this ride with these guys and humanize them, and hopefully by the time we're all doing our thing at the end, you're kind of hoping that it works out for them.
Anytime you get to do, I guess like sing, dance, and be naked in front of 900 screaming fans, like I'm like I'll do that. Like it was like really fun, like and do it and have it be cool. Like I've never like this whole the film is just like a really just cool experience. Like I can't think of a better word for it other because like it's what you want and it's respectful and like it's smart and it's just cool thing.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Completely terrifying. I mean, I think having to get out in front of 900 people and take your clothes off is scary enough as it is, but to be singing live, which is what we did in the film, at the same time is doubly scary. So I think that's, in a weird way, I guess I'm just a masochist because that's one of the things that really appealed to me. I was like, this is completely terrifying, and I'm going to have to get over a lot of my own issues if I'm going to actually make this happen. And I think getting to see him do it and do it so well before I did it was really motivational for me.
Yeah, it's a very scary thing to I guess do first. Like I didn't. It's different from like performing on stage and then having people like, like know your songs. Like it's different. Like you kind of know what they want and expect. And this movie's really more about just like listening and there's a conversation. So like and in the scenes that we do, like there is live singing, there is live dancing, and like you can feel the energy when like. When Matt is singing, like how does it feel? Like at the end, like you can feel it because like you really don't know what's gonna happen next. Like they made sure they're like, yeah, switch up the lyrics every time. Like okay, kind of really freestyle. Like do this is changing. Like and I think that kind of translates. So it's cool. It's a good.
He's just the ideal leader. He's the most amazing leader I've ever worked with. He believes in you. He instills confidence in you. He's a team player. He's brilliant to watch. I mean, I've been a fan of his acting since Guide to Recognizing Your Saints. He's been doing great work for years, and his dancing like defies the laws of gravity. So I remember the first time we were doing the first movie and I saw the pony routine, I was like, oh my gosh. Because it was a tiny little indie at the time. It wasn't a studio movie when we were doing it. It was little budget, like $7 million or something like that. And when I saw him do that, I was like, oh my gosh, this could be something really...
It's really second to none. Like,
Yeah.
no one can... I don't know anybody who's done, like, what he's done, at least in a long time. Like, he just even talking to him yesterday, we're talking, having a conversation about, like, Gene Kelly and stuff. He's, like, looking about, like, how do you connect those and do those now? It's like, who's thinking like that? Like, who's also producing, who's a father? Like, it's like a
He's like the best dad you could ever imagine. He's just always comes from a place of love and support and instills confidence in you and you know, just wants you to feel comfortable and do your best work, and you want to work hard for him because of that.
Yeah, it makes you feel really safe. And this is like the kind of the movie that you kind of need that more
Yeah.
than anything. Like, he really does, like, even in the audition, like, I was, like, very, like, well, what do you want from me? He's like, whatever you do. Like, it's like, whatever you do, I just want to see the best version of you, which is, in a weird way, kind of the theme of the movie. So, like, Greg is, like, truly, I would love to work with him again. It's,
Yeah.
like, such a pleasure.
He's so at ease in the director's chair, too. You would never know. I mean, he's directed films before. This isn't his first time, but he was just... I never, even in the hardest scenes, the most technical scenes, the longest days, I never saw him sweating. He was always there for you as an actor.
Very present. Yeah.
I mean, look, I cringe anytime I ever have to watch something I'm in. I'm still not at that place where I'm like, yeah, I can watch this. Like, I'm still, like, dealing with my own, you know, personal issues. But when I put those aside, I just had this grin on my face from the beginning to the end, just seeing, you know, I knew that we'd had an amazing time making it. I knew that the joy we were experiencing was because of the work we'd done on our characters and what we were bringing. And, you know, you always hope that translates, and it doesn't always. But I really felt like, in this case, the fun we were having on set was kind of coming across on screen.
I really was just surprised how lost I got in it. Like, I really was. Like, usually when I watch films, I'm just like, yeah, kind of not cringing, just kind of like, okay, how did that scene turn out? Like, kind of thing. Like, you're kind of like, and I didn't have that with this. Like, I remember I watched it with Greg, and I was like, just like, oh, cool. Like, I'm in the club now. Like, it's like, oh, cool. Like, I'm at the beach. Like, I didn't know. It was really cool to get lost in, because, like, yeah, it's a road trip movie. It's an event movie where you kind of feel like you're with them. So, I was very happy with it.